This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Wednesday, August 13th. Before I get into the news, this is a quick reminder for anyone considering or already committed to going to Podcast Movement Dallas. Attendees should remember there are still hotel rooms available at podcastmovement.com/pmhotel, but we are told by Podcast Movement folks that the rates will go up over $100 more per night starting Friday, so get to booking. See y'all there. Now for the top story. Inside the Walled Garden, breaking new ground on YouTube podcast measurement. Oxford Road has a new report that represents one of the first scalable performance data-driven attempts to quantify the impact of posting ads on YouTube. The report is built from 15 to 20 podcast episodes of varying scale, ranging from millions of views to under 10,000, that ran embedded host-read ads for a client between September and December of 2024, running the ad both in audio-only podcasts and on YouTube. The study finds a visitation lift rate of almost 8% during the exposure period versus baseline website traffic before the campaigns. Oxford Road positions this study as a step towards building more robust, standardized measurement of podcast simulcast on YouTube. They call on advertisers and partners to join in on developing improved tools, data, and benchmarks for the growing YouTube podcasting space. Next up, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce take their partnership to the next level. Welcome to day 2 of Taylor Swift Podcast-mageddon. It's here, and the Wall Street Journal is talking about it. For those who missed yesterday, the pop star is announcing her 12th album on boyfriend Travis Kelce's sports podcast, New Heights, and it's happening today. 2 clips from the episode, including one where Swift teases the new album's art by holding up the artwork behind a sensor blur, went viral yesterday, driving hype for the episode. As Tom Webster says in both the linked Wall Street Journal piece and a similar front office sports piece, the combination of New Heights' inherent size and the Swiftie fandom could make this single episode one of the most viewed video podcasts on YouTube. That said, this pre-episode virality moment stands as testament as to why it's beneficial for podcasts to leverage clips. The YouTube short version is arguably underperforming with just 1.8 million views on each of the 2 promo clips. Meanwhile, the same clips have 7 and 8 million views on TikTok. The album art tease clip in particular is on track to break 6 million likes on Instagram by this afternoon. Sure, it's a particularly exaggerated moment thanks to the biggest pop star ever knowing how to leverage her fan base, but the fact is, shotgun blasting teasers across all major short-form video platforms have primed this to be a hotly anticipated episode of podcasting. And for a brief bit of inside baseball, I have written and am recording this before New Heights actually posts the full episode to YouTube, so if it flops or does so well it physically breaks the website, I don't know about it yet. Linear time is a cruel mistress. Next up, marketers tune into podcast amid a noisy landscape. A new report from Incremental, built from $3 billion in verified ad spend across over 100 brands and their client base, found that podcast ad spend tripled from H2 2024 to H1 2025. An increase from $2 million to $6 million. The report's analysis finds the trend was driven by privacy-safe opt-in environments that offered both reach and intent while attracting the most desirable demographics. The report echoes a sentiment Sounds Profitable research has repeatedly hit on. The idea podcast advertising is a niche or experimental channel is outdated, and it either currently is or should be a core part of a performance mix. And for my final top story today, the ad industry is dumping younger workers. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau and the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows employees aged 20 to 24 now only make up 6.5% of all jobs in advertising, public relations, and similar services last year. the lowest rate since 2020, and a continuation of a decline since 2022. Federal Reserve Bank of New York numbers show the unemployment rate for college grads aged 22 to 27 has increased faster than the average unemployment figures for all workers. While there's plenty of boogeymen to look to for reasons, for example, industry consolidation, economic uncertainty, AI tools designed to displace entry-level jobs, the fact remains a lower unemployment rate for youngsters getting into the industry will create a knock-on effect down the road when the new crop should be aging up into middle and high-level positions. As for the rest of the news, Faring co-founder Matt Baer has an upcoming webinar with Bryan Barletta discussing what listeners remember versus what platforms report. That's scheduled for Wednesday, August 27th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can register for free. AudienceLift.com, a podcast audience growth platform run by Amaze Media Labs, is launching a proprietary growth solution called YouTube Promotion Campaigns that aims to drive real video views, engagement, and subscriber growth with hyper-targeted ad placements. FlightPath has announced a new partnership with Gamut Podcast Network to provide their real-time inventory forecasting and campaign performance insights across all Gamut podcasts. Backyard Ventures has had such a busy week, they have 2 announcements on the same day. They recently signed The William Montgomery Show and personal finance podcast Frugal Friends. The Hollywood Reporter has a new profile of comedian Marc Maron, looking at what Maron plans to do now that he's retiring industry powerhouse podcast WTF with Marc Maron. The Cube, spelled with a Q, and Certified Crucial are releasing The Podcast Salon Volume 1, a vinyl collection of 13 episodes of podcasts hosted by notable Black and Brown creators. And to round it all off, eMarketer has a piece looking at how Spotify is using programmatic podcast ads to power expansion. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app, or you can head over to the download section of soundsprofitable.com. You can also subscribe to get the newsletter version while you're there. The download is written and produced by myself, Tom Webster, and Bryan Barletta. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow.